Hello everyone, I am the Canadian Gaming Penguin. If you haven't been spending much time in the Manderville Gold Saucer, then you may want to do so. Why, you ask? You didn't? Oh, I see. Okay, bye. Oh, you're still here? Yay! Anyways, the Make It Rain campaign event is back. Woohoo! The event begins today, August 21st, 2020, and will continue on until November 20th, 2020. The event begins in Ulda by speaking to the NPC Nunaphon, whose name I probably butchered. In order to start this quest, players must be at level 15 and have completed one of the following main scenario quests: the Gridanian Envoy, the Uldon Envoy, or the Limson Envoy. The main scenario quest appears fairly early on in the main scenario quests, so if you're not quite there, you have lots of time to get there. Now, before I get into the event itself, you may like to know that during this event there will be a 50% increase to MGP rewards. If that doesn't make you want to head to the Manderville Gold Saucer, then you may also like to know that the event NPCs will have discounted prices for various rewards, which I will show later, including furnishings that were awarded in previous events. There is also a new emote available in this event. If you have never really done anything in the Gold Saucer, then you may want to, as you can get some awesome rewards like some of these mounts. So this is one of the mounts, the Cactar mount. You can also see the Gold Saucer in the background there. That is in southern Thanalin. Keep in mind that some of these mounts are fairly expensive, but one good way to get MGP, especially during this campaign, is to participate in the minigame, the Fashion Report. If you put in little effort, also known as just talking to the correct NPC, you will be rewarded with 10,000 MGP normally. With the 50% increase during this event, you will be rewarded with 15,000 MGP. Additionally, if you do put a little effort in and get a score of 80, you will receive 50,000 MGP. Again, normally. With the Make It Rain campaign event, that amount is raised to 75,000 MGP. Apart from the MGP that you can be rewarded with in the Fashion Report, there are also other rewards that will be unlocked as you participate throughout the weeks. Yes, weeks. The Fashion Report will judge players on an individual basis on Fridays until just before the Tuesday server day change. You also have 4 attempts to get the full 100 points, or even just to the 80 points. Note, you will receive the initial 10,000 MGP or 15,000 MGP with the event, and 50,000 MGP or 75,000 MGP with the event only once per Fashion Report, so kind of once per week if you do it on Fridays. But wait, there's more! There are a number of other mini-games available to play in the Gold Saucer. Some are gates, which are timed events. My favorite one is Leap of Faith. Other mini-games are arcade-style mini-games, which we will actually see a little bit of during the event. Triple Triad, Chocobo Racing, Lord of Verminion, get your minions out and do some battle, and more! I do encourage you to check out all the different mini-games that there are, if you haven't done so already, especially with the boosted MGP reward. Did I mention it's a 50% increase? Oh, I did. Right. Anyways, enough about the Gold Saucer for now. Let's get into the event. And here I am, just in Thanalin, just outside of the Aetheryte over there. We have Nunaphon here, whom we might recognize from previous events. And it couldn't be from, that at all. Yeah, anyway, so speaking with Nunaphon here, so we have the caught short-handed, and we do gain some experience, provided you're not level 80. Then we have the MGP bronze card for a reward of 5,000 MGP, and a consider emote. Nunaphon is glancing about with a hint of frantic desperation. Excuse me, yes you miss, if I might have a moment of your time? Oh, I know you, it's me, Nunaphon. You helped me audition at the Gold Saucer, remember? Surely you haven't forgotten my performance. The thing is, my employers are holding one of their special limited time events where all attractions reward 50% or more MGP. The campaign has been so successful, however, that we're having trouble catering to the unexpectedly enormous crowds. Thus, do you find me accosting passerby and offering temporary positions on our staff as attraction guides? Might you be interested in helping out in exchange for a generous payment? Wonderful! I'll let my supervisor know to expect you at Entrance Square in the Gold Saucer. And we head into the Gold Saucer, and you'll actually see there's a few new decorations normally, and also where I started the video. We have these little cactar thingies and a special little thing up there, which is not normally here, but it is with the event. Anyways, we need to head over here to this destination marker. Oh ho, I come to greet our recruited helper, and who should it be but Mistress Aragon? As Nanafon will have explained, we are seeking temporary assistance for our terribly overworked saucer staff. The sheer number of attractions can be overwhelming for visiting guests, hence the need for dedicated guides. Aside from providing information, one of their most vital duties is suggesting which amusements might best suit a particular individual's tastes. Your first task then shall be to visit a staff member in each of the 5 squares and receive an explanation of the available attractions. Once you feel comfortably enlightened, I ask that you speak with our chief attendant here. He will put your newfound knowledge to a practical test. And so we must speak to the different NPCs in the 5 different areas, as said, and the first one we'll speak to is the Card Square guide right here. And Card Square is home to the highly acclaimed and widely adored phenomenon we call Triple Triad. In this game, planning your card placements in advance is the key to claiming victory. Those who enjoy thinking ahead will find themselves right at home at our tables. We also have some mini games here, the Finer Miner and Out on a Limb. You will only find these particular mini games up on this level, so I took the elevator up. And the Lord of Verminion is also found over here, and on the far end, which I'll show in a moment, is the Chocobo Racing. Minion Square Guide. Here in Minion Square, guests can challenge one another in the strategic contest known as Lord of Verminion. Whether you wish to test the limits of your tactical brilliance or simply revel in the adorable minion mayhem, this is the game for you. You'll also see random minions wandering around, such as this one. Or, wait, that's a player one. Let's see, can we see one? Okay, well this is an NPC one, I know that much, but you can see the one right there. Anyway, the Chocobo Racing, which has a very interesting statue, is over here. Here's another minion. But yes, we have the Chocobo Racing over here. Moving on. There's also a Cuffacur minigame, which can be found in other locations as well. And moving on in this direction, we're actually going to take a little detour and show you the Cliffhanger gate, just because it happens to be on right now. Talking to this NPC gives you a little bit of dialogue. I'm not going to read it because it'll take me too long. And we have to climb up this cliff while avoiding the bombs, which will knock us off. And if we do get knocked off, you can talk to the gate client over there again and respawn at the beginning and then try to make our way up. And I have to stop holding X, otherwise I'm not going to be able to complete this. And there we go. Talking to the Lost Hatchling, and we have been rewarded with 4,500 MGP, partly because of the boosted MGP, and because we were able to complete it in the allotted time. Round Square Guide. Master Roland has informed me of your impending employment. shall we commence your education in Round Square's attractions? So here we have Cliffhanger, the one we just participated in. In Cliffhanger, a chocobo chick has stranded itself atop a forbidding mountain. Those who would rescue the lamentable creature must run a harrowing gauntlet of goblin bombs. It is a must for thrill seekers and danger lovers, but rather hard to recommend for a folk simply looking to pet a feathery friend. And the second one that occurs over here is Leap of Faith. There is also another one that occurs, but it's not mentioned here, and I'm not going to mention it also. They're basically going through the ones that you will need for part of this event. There is nowhere to go but up in this grueling test of acrobatic prowess. We invited those sure of foot and strong of will to overcome the dizzying heights of this death-defying attraction. It perhaps goes without saying that guests who feel uncomfortable when faced with time limits and precipitous, big word, don't know, falls might do well to look elsewhere for entertainment. And so moving on, we'll head into the event square area, which also contains the access for Domaine Mahjong, and so that's just the far east Mahjong. We also have more Cuffakers, which is my personal opinion being the easiest little mini game of the arcade style. We also have Moogle's Paw, which is also fairly easy once you get used to the control. Moving on, our event square guide is over here. Event square guide. Ah, you must be our new guide in training. Where shall we start? Anyway, the wind blows. Typhoon is an actual void scent summoned by the spell of a student of thaumaturgy, and later employed here at the saucer. During the event in question, you must try to anticipate where his next nasal eruption will occur, then maneuver to a location where you think you will be safe. Luck plays a large part in one's success, thus anyone can participate regardless of athletic ability. Anyway, the wind blows is a must for those seeking to indulge in the excitement of the unpredictable. The Slice is Right. The Slice is Right is an event requiring a combination of both luck and skill. The longer you survive, the greater the rewards, though you will have to contend with the fearsome Yojimbo, as I butcher his name. Think you're so fast enough to dodge the lightning strikes of the swordsman's blade? Then this attraction was tailor-made for you. Cuffaker. Ah yes, Cliffhanger. Come now, come all, and test your might. The power of the punch is important, but so too is the precision. The Moogle's Paw. Steer the Moogle, grab the ball, and win your MGB prize. We see a lot of gadget lovers at this game. Also a lot of, admirers of the nearby attendants if one pays attention. So basically all these descriptions so far are giving you hints to a further part into the event. Fresh meat for the grinder, eh? Welcome to the family. Crystal Tower Striker. Bringing down the mallet with perfect timing is the way to win a Crystal Tower Striker. Which are those right there? This is a game for those handy with a hammer, or who have the patience to wait for just the right moment to strike. Domaine Mahjong. In Domaine Mahjong, 4 players race to gather tiles and form a winning combination, all the while trying not to hand victory to their opponents. The rules are many and varied, but it's the contest of wits and cunning that brings people back for more. There's nothing else quite like it, especially for those with an interest in Far Eastern culture. So we have the Tower Strike here. We also have a Monster Toss one. I am not really good at that one. Right. We also have that guy spinning around with this platform, which is another one of the minigame gates that I won't get into. And we need to head over here, apparently. Our fledgling guide returns. Do you think yourself prepared to meet and assist actual guests? Are you prepared? Yes, I am, because I know all the answers. Let us put you straight to work then. Come along. And if you don't know the answers, don't worry, you will still complete the quest. And I'll get to what happens afterwards as well. Ha ha ha, is that you, Celebrian? And here we see the Pugilist Guildmaster, aka Hammond. Or Hammond, not Hammond. Hammond? Working as guide, you say? Well, I could use some suggestions. You see, I'm having terrible time choosing which game to play. In my younger days, I would impress the ladies with my vigorous poodleism, but I wonder if excelling at one of these amusements might have a similar effect. Might I suggest Domain Mahjong? Or Cliffhanger? Or Triple Triad? Well, of course we're gonna go with Cliffhanger because that requires the punching and the pooglist skills. Oh ho, why didn't I think of that? Stand aside, the Holy Fist needs to go and rack up holy high score. Rack up a holy high score. I can read. Hammond seems greatly enthused by your suggestion. If you had suggested one of the other two, he would just basically be not that enthused. Anyway, Celebrian, what brings you to the Gold Saucer? I see. Perhaps you might help me then. I need some time away from the Colosseum, but even in play I hope to find ways to improve my blade work. Would any of these diversions serve such a role? Might I suggest Any Way the Wind Blows, or the Crystal Tower Striker, or the Slice is Right? Well, might I suggest the Slice is Right? Ah, so you must anticipate and avoid the sword strikes, yes? That sounds perfect. Mila, also the Gladiator Guildmaster by the way, seems greatly enthused by your suggestion. Fancy meeting you here. Taking a break from breaking rock, eh? And we have our Minor Guildmaster. Ah, more work than play then. Either way, I could do with some advice. What kind of amusing things do they have for a miner like me? I've spent endless hours clambering about mountains and such, so I can handle some jumping and climbing. Might I suggest the Moogle's Paw, Leap of Faith, or Lord of Verminion? Well, of course we're going to go with Might I suggest a Leap of Faith? Oh, that does sound like a challenge. I'd say my time in craggy places puts me at an advantage, but I suppose we'll see. Adalberta seems greatly enthused by your suggestion. Thank you, Mr. Sargon. That should be sufficient for the moment. Now, I've reviewed the reports of your performance, and it seems every guest with whom you spoke was most pleased with your recommendations. An outstanding effort. Why, I might almost be convinced to take you on as a full-time employee. Success rate aside, I was personally impressed by your genuine enthusiasm and unfailing politeness. What think you, Mr. Sargon? Would you care to join our Gold Saucer family in a more official capacity? Master Roland, if you will recall our discussion, this was never to be more than a temporary arrangement. I jest, my good man, merely a jest. I would never ask Mr. Sargon to abandon her chosen profession to alleviate a dilemma of her own making. I shall, however, thank you again for donating your precious time. Pray accept my heartfelt gratitude, and be sure to collect your payment before you leave. Chief Attendant. I too must once more express thanks for your timely assistance. You're welcome. This dilemma, as Master Roland puts it, is a serious one, and I fear our dearth of guides may yet prove disastrous. Should you be willing to stay on a while longer, there is more work to be done. But let us keep accounts current, shall we? Your wages, madame. And we are thus rewarded with our MGP ticket thingy and the emotion. You have learned the emote. You can also speak with the genial geyser right there and join the marvelous masquerade in the Haunted Manor. We will get to that in a bit. There is not a whole lot to that. If you haven't played in various Halloween-ish events before, that will be this. Unfortunately, we were probably supposed to have a event exclusive for the this portion, but due to obvious reasons of delayed whatever. We have a combination thereof of events. Similar, I think, also to the last event that we had, not including the Yokai Watch event, which is still currently going on, by the way. It will continue on until patch 5.4, which is expected to be sometime in December. Just so you know. And you can see more details about that in my letter to the producer live video that I did a moment ago. I may also have a new video coming out soon because we now have the English translation stuff available, which was actually released yesterday. Anyway, a guide to fun. And so this, as you can see, if you're not familiar, this is a repeatable quest. So we have the chief attendant here, and the chief attendant appears eager to retain your services. These crowds show no sign of thinning. Might you be willing to brave another round of interaction with her guests? Splendid, then I shall send you once more unto the breach. As of present, our most congested areas appear to be Event Square, Round Square, and Wonder Square. Report to the Saucer's guides in any of these 3 squares and see to it that our visitors are catered to. So we have the option of actually choosing with one of these 3 guides. So we have a guide here, here, and here. And whenever you go to this location, or this location, or this location, in each of the respective areas, it will be doing exactly the same thing. So I'll demonstrate what it is in a second, but it was effectively what that ending, as I throw that camera right into the banner there. Brilliant. Woo, that's such a very pleasant picture. Anyway. You basically have to tell the NPCs which different attraction would fit their needs or wants or whatever, etc. Before I get into that though, as you can see, we have the campaign attendant here who has various prizes. These should be discounted prizes. I didn't actually check. They look like they're lower in number, but we also have some of these here. So the Golden Saucer attendant, which I apparently already have, along with the Rolling Card and Gigi card. These are for your triple triad, as it says, triple triad card for each of these 3. But we also have the Crystal Tower Striker, Monster Toss, Cliffhanger, and the Moogle's Paw Machine, Out on a Limb Machine, and the Finer Minor Machine. These are furnishings for indoor use at your home in whichever location. They are fairly big, and I currently have all of them set up in my house, which I can show later. Not on this character, it's on my main character. They're kind of squished into my house right now because it's just a small house and there's not a whole lot of space. Cool things about the housing furnishings is the fact that, yeah, it's very squishy in here. I have them overlapping as well. But one of the cool things about this is that you can actually play these games here. We will do the Cliffhanger, which I think is over here. Let's see. Yes, it is. Okay, so right-clicking that. This one here is so much easier to do, and normally this is a 10.1, I believe, 10 MGP, so... Oh, we do get the bonus at home as well. That is awesome. So if you don't want to hang around in the Gold Saucer, but you do have these located in your house, there you go. We also have... Yes, I have all of them. I don't want them out forever, though. They're way too big. Though this one does kind of fit here, but I kind of have it overlap. So we're actually going to do this side quest right here because this one is different. The one in the square event, I will show it in a second after we're done this. Thank you for coming. Are you ready to begin your shift? Are you ready? Yes, I am. Excellent. Our guests await your assistance. So with this one, we were going to get 3 different NPCs, and these NPCs I do have the answers for, so stick around if you want to see them as it is, or as I play through it. Bloody hells, give a man a break. Did you follow me or somewhat? Or somewhat? I can never figure out his speech. Anyway, so we have Gerald Hill here, which you will be acquainted with if you have done any of the relic quests. Relic weapon quests specifically, that is. And just pitching in then, are ya? Well, ain't ya the perfect saint? Although, come to think of it, might be as ya could do me a favor. You see, I'm looking for a game to stack them points up swift-like, but I don't fancy prancing about or learning a bunch of rules. I can swing a mean hammer if that helps. And if you didn't know that he was a smith, well, there you go, that's kind of the hint there. And so which one do we know is dropping a hammer? Of course, of these three listed, the Crystal Tower Striker. Now that sounds custom made for a master smith like me. Stand aside, it's time to loosen up the old swinging arm. Gerald seems greatly enthused by your suggestion. Ah, how pleasant to find a familiar face. Are you also come to enjoy a respite from the world's demands? The opposite, then. I was, in fact, in search of guidance, if you might indulge me. Which of these many attractions would you recommend for an arcanist? A game which challenges the mind would be most preferable. This is, of course, the Arcanist Guildmaster. And which one should we be? Cliffhanger, Cliffhanger, or Domain Mahjong? Well, which one requires a bit of wit? Mahjong, of course. Yes, the need for a solid strategy. Yes, the need for a solid strategy appeals to me, and as a customs officer, I've become curious to learn more of Far Eastern traditions. An excellent idea. I'm not going to try to pronounce her name because I know I'm going to butcher it, but anyway, she seems greatly enthused by your suggestion. I'm not good with Arugadan names. Have you been lured by this abyss of amusement as well, Celebrian? Hello, Thaumaturge Guildmaster. Kokubuki. A guide to souls lost in the madness. Commendable. I myself would become a nudge in the right direction. I'm pretty sure I read that last sentence incorrectly. I seek the diversion in which a void-sent creature, one summoned by the thaumaturgical arts of my own guild no less, is featured most prominently. Know you of such an attraction? Which one could that be? Could it be Any Way the Winds Blows? Triple Triad or Cliffhanger? Could it be Any Way the Wind Blows, I believe? Of course it is. So Typhon is here. I must inspect the measures employed in his containment and ensure that there is no danger to the populace. If you will excuse me. I can vouch that there isn't. Kokubuki seems greatly appreciative of your answer. Appreciated. I can speak. Anyways, so that is the three NPCs. The three NPCs for this area. I forgot, I thought there was going to be one. I'm like, did I miscount? No, so the Gold Saucer guide, who is also standing in this location, comes and tells you how you performed, basically. So, thank you, Mr. Saragon. You've given me the chance to attend to several other vital duties. Now shall we review your performance? I'm happy to say that every guest seemed well satisfied by your recommendations. An admirable display of service. Has anyone spoken with you about becoming a full-time employee? But putting such matters aside, we appreciate any effort made towards maintaining the Saucer's reputation for hospitality. Dismissed! Oh, and don't forget to return to the entrance square and collect your wages from the chief attendant. So as I mentioned, and obviously we had three different NPCs there, the NPCs that will be here are the same ones that you had in the initial quest, so you will be able to see the correct answers, or do the correct answers, should you have failed to have gotten them during the quest. And the one over here will also be different NPCs as well, which I won't get into. I will have a different video with all of the different ones in that. And thank you for your continued effort. Here's your payment as promised. And since I didn't actually show it, any further assistance you may provide during the campaign would be greatly appreciated. We get an MGP voucher of 100 Manderville Gold Saucer points, MGP. And this is, as I said, a repeatable quest. But anyways, now we are going to visit the Genial Geyser here. Speaking to them, come along, my friend. The Continental Circus is hosting a marvelous masquerade, and you're invited. Enter the Haunted Manor. So this is also one of my favorite areas at this time of the year, apart from the music, but also because of the decorations. And I have previous videos last year of these as well. But as you can see, this is the Haunted Manor, which you will see in a dungeon but not decorated like this, and with actual mobs and monsters, etc. But one of my favorite areas is not up here, but I noticed that it looked like there was different decorations this time around. Or it's just been so long, and I say this every year, that there's different. I just like how these are lined up along here. And then we see the bigger ghost in distress, and the one ghost seems unhappy and the other happy. Or maybe they're both happy, I don't know. I also want those as a decoration. That'd be really cool. I imagine that they're probably Mock Station or a previous event, possibly. Some of these other ones were previous events, such as these banners as well. I also have a 3-stacked pumpkin thing in one of my house decorations as well. That was also from a previous event. Some of these things you may find on the Mog Station, or the market board as well. But you can go through the different decorations here. I also like that one, it is really cute. But as I head over here, we're gonna hop down. We'll just head over here, where we can see a whole host of people, and other people, and other people, and other people pretending to be people. And why are they pretending to be people? Well, if we speak with the, if I hit the right buttons here, the Unsavory Imp here. Up to something? Me, never. I am but a fun-loving imp, here to help my fellow revelers enjoy the wake, and I can fashion you a very convincing guise for the masquerade. All I need is for you to recall a journey unforgettable. Traverse your memories and tell me what you see. So, I don't have a lot of these listed right now. If you have completed basically all the main scenario quests and some of the other things, you will have a lot more listed here. For anybody who's finished A Realm Reborn, this is the A Realm Reborn, this is the Heaven's Ward, etc. stuff, which I haven't quite yet completed because I'm post in Heaven's Ward in this character. Anyway, so we have these things, and just to demonstrate, as I select this one, good, now of someone remarkable you encountered in the time, someone powerful, yes that is. So you select which kind of basically part of the game, so expansion wise, Realm Reborn, Heaven's Ward, Stormblood, and Shadowbringers, and then we have a list of various characters. So we have, let's see, a charming and compassionate Lollifelin, lady of noble birth, which I won't select because we have one right there. Let's see. Sure, we'll go with this one. This will do nicely. Don't worry, this won't hurt much at all. Just close your eyes. The transfiguration can be removed by leaving the area or by cancelling the transfiguration status effect. And if you're familiar with Nashu from the Manderville quests, aka Hildebrand side quests, which you will have after you complete the initial A Realm Reborn story, the initial Heaven's Ward story, so on, Stormblood. We don't have the Shadowbringers one, hopefully that is soon because I'm really wanting to play that. Anyway, we have Nashu here, and as you can see, I'm disguised as her, and then hitting, you can see here we have this random thing there, that's her poking. Like, have some sort of action for each of the NPCs, and then hitting the 2 there will just remove the disguise. But anyways, that is the area here, and that is basically all there is to it. Again, there's the MGP in the... That's kind of amusing. There's the MGP in the... Oh yes, there's also a cellar down here. And we're just going to hop down here and head over here. There's also all the boosted MGP, there's this, there's the various rooms here. This is also a nice room here as well. There's even a marker for you to stand. Anyway, so that is the repeatable quest, each different area of the Manderville Gold Saucer. So if we pull up the map here, Thanalin Gold Saucer. So in the round square, you'll have 3 NPCs. In the event square, there'll be 3 NPCs. And in the Wonder Square, there'll be 3 different NPCs. I will have a separate video showing each of those different ones. Talking to the Geno Geyser, you can go into this building that I'm currently in. And we also have the emote. So There we go. A question springs to Celebrity and Saragon's mind. Anyways, that is where I'm going to leave this video. It is a lengthy one as it is. I will probably have a shorter condensed version of this event as well, just to get to the main points. If you found this video helpful or enjoyed it, please hit that like button, and please also consider subscribing so that you don't miss out on the next video. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching!